Okay, let's get started. I'm just going to start by priming my eyes with the matte paint pot and laying low. And I usually take mine to the top. You don't have to do this, but I feel like it gives the entire eye palette a nice clean start. All right, so I'm just gonna blend that out. And you can always add more if needed. All right, cool. Blend that out again. All right. So let me just clean off the edge right here, and tape my edges. So I didn't put my foundation on or anything yet, so you could just brush the fallout later on. All right. So I'm going into my Morphe 3502 palette. And I'm going to start with the lightest brown shade at the top, Universal, and just take it all the way to the crease. Get into the inner corners right here so I can start building depth. And now I'm going to go into Orb, which is a slightly darker brown. Still not quite my flesh tone, but it's just subtle enough that it gives me a contrast. All right. I'm going to go to the NYX Ultimate Brights palette. And let's start with this lilac shade. Which is coming off very faint. But that's good because you know you can always build up. Okay, and now I'm going into my ColourPop single in Beverly by K-Pop. And I'm taking it to the bottom, right above my crease. And I'm just blending that in with the lilac shade. Just give me more of a purple. Okay. I didn't think about this before, but okay. I want to take my matte single I'm Into It, and before I cut the crease, I'm just going to add that to the closest shade to the crease. It makes sense. I'm going all the way in there with I'm Into It. Okay, I'm going to put that to the side for now because I'm probably going to come back and use that again. Yeah. So I'm going to start my cut crease. Sorry. Because my lids are slightly hooded, I just like to go a little bit higher. That way, you know, the base color shows more. And a trick I do to get this done is once I put the concealer on, just look up and see how there's additional concealer. That gives me a measurement for where I'd like my cut crease to end or begin, depending on how you look at it. Okay. So I'm gonna let that dry and get tacky for a second, and eventually I'm gonna add a loose powder to it. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and prime my bottom lids with the paint pot. Get into the inner ducts. Okay, what I forgot to do earlier was pat down the paint pot with a loose powder, so I'll just go ahead and do that. And I'm using the Revolution Luxury Baking Powder in Banana. It's real lightweight powder. It goes on smooth. They have another shade in Topaz, which is for darker complexions, and I use that often too. Okay, just dust that once more. All right. So now I'm gonna go back into Universal. And I'm just gonna bring it halfway. Okay, and I'm gonna go back in with I'm Into It. And I'm gonna fill in the second half of my eyelid with that. So what I'd like to do is go back in with the lilac that I used earlier, just to give it a little bit more oomph. I'm going right above the crease with that lilac from earlier. Just letting that blend into the I'm Into It above my crease. And I think I'm going to take this dark purple on the NYX palette and go down where the lilac meets the deep plum shade. Okay, I'm going to go into Orb again. And then go to the middle of the center of the eyelid. And just make sure I'm taking that right up to where I want my crease to start. Okay. So for the bottom lid, what I'm going to do is go back into that lilac, the lilac shade from the NYX palette that we originally used. And I'm going to start in the center of my bottom eyelid. Okay. So what I'd like to do next is spray on a little bit of fixer on my brush and go into a gold shade. Yeah, I'm feeling that. So let me grab my spray. All right, I got the MAC Prep Prime shade spray, Prep Prime spray, and I'm gonna go back into the Morphe 3502 palette and go into Pure. So I'm just tapping it on. I'm just spraying it on the brush. Yep. So I'm gonna go blow off the excess. And then tap it from the center all the way into the end of my eye. And I think I'm gonna go a tad into the bottom lid as well. Yeah. Okay. Let that dry. So I'm going to go into my NYX vinyl, strictly vinyl eyeliner in Chrome. And I love the shade. It's a really deep purple shade. The only thing is it's not as vibrant as I would have liked to have been, but I kind of like that it's like you really have to look close to see the purple, and so that way it's not overkill. mulligans. Let me go back in and patch that up. Okay, cool. Okay, so while the eyeliner dries, I'm gonna get my lashes ready. And I'm not using anything fancy for the lashes, but one thing I always look for is numbers, especially with these kind of generic branded lashes, and the 138 does the most for me. I mean, they look more natural. The lashes themselves are kind of spread out on the width, so I'm gonna go with those. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to comb my actual lashes up because they're really curly. And I'll give these a second to dry. Yeah. What is going on with me today? There we go. This ain't gonna work. Okay. Let me try to grab a mirror. Let me get a better mirror. Right. There we go. And you check the method with my lashes. I put the glue on the underside as opposed to the top because I place my lashes up under my actual lashes. And I do this because my natural lashes are really curly. Putting them on top, it makes it really difficult to blend. So I find that this method prevents me from having to use mascara or do anything to blend in the lashes. They just act as a little lash wig, I guess. Okay. Okay, this went on without a problem. So I'm gonna do some mascara on my bottom lashes. That's the weirdest thing. My tops are curly and my bottoms are straight. Alright, so I'm gonna do my foundation and I'll be right back with the finished product, okay? Alright, so here's the finished look. I got my face and brows on, so thanks for watching.